Right. All right, guys. We'll give it a second here, see if anyone pops on with us. Let me go stop the music. And hey, welcome back to my live stream. I'm Paul Meaches Paul, and this is my live stream. I haven't done one in a little bit. We're trying to get back to doing these because it seems to be that a lot of people like them. Some of my friends are doing them as well, some other fellow YouTubers. And I think it's just a great way to connect with y'all and kind of give you updates, sort of, way to let you know what's going on in the market, some, news articles that come out about the real estate market here in South Florida, and in between my videos, which are up every Sunday at 10 a.m. So welcome to my live stream. Typically, I call this Pints with Paul, but no pints, just a little Dr. Pepper tonight. So it was a long day. It was a long, very stressful day in the real estate world here in South Florida. But hey, I've got properties that I'm selling, so that's good because it has been slow. I don't know if y'all have seen that in the news or your part of the world, but the real estate market has been quite slow going into 2025. There's kind of just this huge pause, right? Everyone was waiting for the election. Well, that's done. Waiting for the holidays. That's done. And new president in office. That's done. So, but there still seems to be a little bit of a pause with people buying. And I get that. There's a lot going on in Florida. There's a lot going on in the country right now. So, but what I'm going to do with these and what I've seen some of my friends do is, look, we're just going to, let me go up to the comments section first. And let's see, where do we get my comments so we can see those. And if you guys want to leave a comment down below, then you guys can go ahead and do that. And let me go to my banner, get my banner up here. So here we go. Right, let me get this off here. There, all right. So if you want to leave a comment, just go ahead and leave a comment or ask a question. I'll try to answer the best I can. But what I'm going to do is talk about some things in the news, some things like a little bit of good news for homeowners with looking at homeowners insurance. But there's a catch. There's always a catch, isn't there? And then there's also some other news about sellers and good news for buyers that the concessions are up, meaning buyers are getting concessions when they're buying a property. Sellers are realizing that maybe the properties aren't selling as quickly, or whatever, the transaction has a pause in it somewhere, and they're like, hey, we need to get something moving, or the offers have a pause in it. And so people are coming back with offering concessions and to get buyers to help them with their payments, or maybe their down payment, or whatever it is the sellers are offering. So concessions are up. And then we're also going to talk about one of fact, the news report that came out, and this one kind of shocked me too. But Florida got ranked as the #1 retirement state in the country. I know. We'll talk about it. So, for options, what are some of the affordable options? Hey, Dana, thanks for asking. All right. Well, so I still don't have 2 monitors, and that's one thing I got to work on now, is get 2 monitors so I can share a screen with you and pop it up. So I may have to just go click on the actual article to read it to you. But yes, we're going to talk about that. So in the news, about, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, the news, we saw a report, my wife actually saw it, and said that a homeowner had bought a new home, and that is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in Stuart, Florida, or actually Port St. Lucie. And her probably, I don't know, 1,300 square foot house, her insurance for the property was only about $1,300 or $1,400 a year, which is extremely cheap. Let's just put it that way, cheap here in South Florida. Most people are paying like $3,500 for a house of that size in South Florida right now. So the way that works, though, is that the home builders are offering, their insurance companies, they partner with somebody, and because the new homes have, they're better built, they meet all the new codes for, the building codes. They're newer and they have all the hurricane protection. Almost all the homes have impact windows. They have the new roof, and they have a lot of things that are new safety features for the house that the insurance companies will look at that and they give them a discounted insurance. So the catch is that from my understanding of it, and Dana, I don't know 100%. I talk to an insurance person, but from my understanding is that it only applies to one brand new home. So it's not going to apply to a resale home. You'd have to buy a brand new house, and then when you're buying it, and one of the articles I read said something like it's kind of built in with the mortgage payment as well. And but on new homes, and they are a lot of incentives on new homes right now. There's a lot of new homes being built in South Florida, and so they're offering a lot of incentives. I just got an email today. They're offering incentives to the realtors to bring buyers to the property, and then they're offering incentives to the buyers with certain pay down on the interest rate or more money for upgrades and stuff like that. So there are some deals to be had. Just kind of got to look around and see. But the insurance that, and I'm going to try and take a look at this. So I'm going to click off the screen and see if I can read this. So it's two Florida-based insurance companies that teamed up to offer new affordable insurance programs aimed at homeowners in your hurricane-prone state. Security First Insurance and Embark MGA said that unveiled in December the new insurance product, which it says boast enhanced coverage options tailored to the unique needs of homeowners, according to the press release. Says the innovative homeowners insurance solution combines enhanced coverage options tailored to unique Florida homeowners with the simplicity of embedding the insurance in the home buying process. And the idea is that the insurance options will be baked into the process of buying new construction homes in a bid to make it easier for prospective homeowners to find coverage for their property, something that's been increasingly difficult in Florida in recent years amid surging climate risk. So, and that just kind of basically goes on. The story talked a little bit about it. It said the average, so right here it says, by comparison, the average cost of home insurance for a policy with a $300,000 coverage limit was about $2,300 nationwide. And a database released by the U.S. Census Bureau in September revealed that 20% of Florida homeowners were paying at least $4,000 per year for home insurance. So it gives you, I hope that helped, Dana. Thanks for asking the question. I appreciate it. So that's kind of what is going on with the insurance. I know that we're still waiting for everyone to go back to the politicians to go back to the state and address some of the needs. One of the things on their list that they may be talking about is a wind-only policy. So maybe get a wind-only coverage policy on your house. And I don't know, a lot of people I talk to don't think that's great, because I've talked to insurance people, local insurance agents, and actually the biggest claim on homes is leaks from like faucets and pipes. Leaking cause more damage than storm damage does. So it's just when storm damage hits, it's really bad, right? It's a bunch of homes at once. But yeah, they might be putting a policy on for people, if it gets approved, that you can just have wind coverage on your house. So we'll see how that goes. They've got a lot on their plate. They're obviously going to be addressing the condo issue that's coming up. They know insurance is a big issue. So we'll see what happens with that this year. Let's see, Serenity. Hi, Serenity. Thanks for joining us. So let's see, are there any new modern co-op apartments in South Beach? There's not a lot of co-ops, at least modern. So for those watching, co-ops are really big up in Northeast, like in New York. There's only a few co-ops here in South Florida. Most of them are a bit older. There's new condos. And the big difference is co-ops are cash only. You can't finance a co-op. And you actually have to, it's a process where the board and everyone has to preview. It's a lengthy process versus a condo where you can finance a condo, some condos. I don't know if there's any, and I don't know if you're just using co-op as a general term, that's what you call condos, certainly, but there are some new apartments, and again, that's a term a lot of people use, apartments, when they're talking about condos, but there are a lot of new condos going up between South Beach and Fort Lauderdale and even West Palm Beach, although the ones in West Palm are quite luxury, expensive. The ones that I've looked at so far have shown and talked about, they're on the water. Those are very high end. I think the least starting at like 1.5 million for the least expensive, and going on up to like 48 million for some of these ones going up. So you live a co-op in New York. Okay, well, thanks for watching from New York. I hope you're staying warm up there. Yeah, the co-ops aren't as big down here. You'll find them, and the only way you know is when you're trying to search for a property for somebody, and you look, you'll see it, and it's most of the time it says cash only. And then you'll look, and it doesn't say condo; it says co-op. So it's a little different. There's a couple of them here, but none of them are new that I know of. I don't think there's been any new ones for quite a while being built. So, but we could always check. South Beach is a little bit further. I could always put you in touch with my friend who's a good realtor down in South Beach, but I haven't heard of any. So so anyway, but yeah, so the insurance, there is a little hope for saving on your insurance, but the catch is you got to buy a brand new home. So I mean, if you're in the position to shop with home prices where they're at, and some of the developers and the home builders, their incentives for a new home, if you guys are interested, reach out to me, because I have helped quite a few people who've reached out to me, and I introduced them to a builder, and we're able to help them get a house. And I just talked to one the other day who bought in a place called Arden. I helped them buy out there. It's built by Lennar Homes, and they bought out there in, I think, 2018, and they love it, and they're really happy out there. But right now, like I said, they have some incentives out there, and it would help on your insurance costs. Plus, the new house has, everything new, right? Roof, plumbing, electrical. All those things come with a warranty. So, live in it for 10 years, sell it, maybe upgrade. Again, if you're interested, let me know. I've taken people to look at a lot of new homes. I just did a video 2 weeks ago. If you guys saw one, I did a GL Homes at Apex in North Palm Beach, or Palm Beach Gardens. And that was a really nice community out there. Those homes, though, they start at like $1 million plus and go up, plus the lot. So, but really nice community. So, all right. Well, if you guys got any more, I love the comments. It helps the time fly, y'all. Helps things go through when you're doing these. I will be bringing guests on. I've got some friends. I'm really going to try to commit to doing this. It's hard to do 2 videos a week. I shoot and edit my own videos, so that does take up time in between being a realtor, doing all my real estate stuff like I was yesterday. But I do like doing these because it gets a chance to answer your questions, which I can't always do unless you leave a post. And I can sort of bring you updates of certain things that are going on. So, but let me close out the Florida homeowners insurance. So, by the way, I don't know if I want to thank you guys. I just did a video Sunday on Deerfield Beach. When I started this channel back in 2018, I went out exploring a lot, and I showed Palm Beach and Delray Beach and Jupiter and Lake Worth. I did a lot of these sort of what I call tour videos, right, of the city, just kind of giving you exposure to what the city has to offer: restaurants, events, museums, just things that you're going to want to go do if you move there. And then I go and show a neighborhood and kind of give you a little bit of a neighborhood tour. I did that for Deerfield, and I'd never done one for Deerfield. I'd been there, and I had a lot of fun with it. But what was really nice is I got a lot of great comments from y'all. So thank you guys. It seems like you really like those videos, because it sort of gives someone like Serenity, who's in New York, maybe an idea of, hey, if I move to South Florida, what's Deerfield Beach like? What can I do there? And so I showed the pier, which is being worked on. I ate at a restaurant called Kahuna's, which is cool. I saw about 40 to 50 Ferraris go by, because apparently there was a Ferrari event going on. So that was kind of cool. I found a microbrewery, which was awesome, called The Cove. I didn't know that even existed, but the place had a really good surf vibe, and the beer was good. So it's fun. So I get to get out and explore and see things too that, after 30 years of living here, I didn't know existed. So, Affy, hey, how's my neighbor doing? How are you? Happy New Year. Glad to have you on. So yeah, that was a fun video. I got to explore the city and tell the history about it. I kind of tell how the city started and where it got its name, and just giving you guys ideas so that maybe when you hear it next time, you go, hey, Paul mentioned that place. That looks like a kind of a neat city. Maybe we look for homes in that area. So anyway, and we had lots of good feedback. So, okay, hold on. So if you guys know, I've spoken about my dogs a lot, right? We love my dogs. They're like my 2 daughters. And my wife likes to foster a little. So you see, so which one is this?
Sierra.
Sierra. So that's Sierra, guys. That's Sierra with a second chance. So if you ever come here and you do buy a house and you want a puppy, reach out to us. We'll put you in touch with Second Chance Puppies and Kittens Rescue. And that little cutie, although she barks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
for now, she's a puppy.
Yeah, she barks a lot. And then her brother's around the corner. So super cute. And that's my wife. So But hi from Orlando. Hey, XT, thank you. Wow, from Orlando. My friend, I hope you watch my friend up there, Ken Pozak, who has a big YouTube channel in Orlando, and he does the most amazing live streams, and I hope to be as big as him one day. But he's got a whole production. The guy's a true professional. He's got the coolest studio in the world too. I love seeing that. So all right, so concessions. Let's talk about a little bit about that. So when you go buy a house and you're looking at it, first you can come in and offer less than they're asking, right? The market is changing, so you can come in and say, hey, we want to offer less than what you're asking for the house, and that may not get accepted. And then, hey Johnny, what's up? Hey, nice to have you here. So you make an offer on the house. Maybe let's just round easy up. So it's 100,000, right? And you may go and say, we're going to offer you 90,000 or whatever. So maybe it gets accepted. And then you go through and do your inspection and find there's a few things here and there that need some work. And so a lot of times it's different for every state, but here in Florida, the seller can either say, hey, I'll fix all these items, and then we move past it and you continue to buy the house. Or a lot of times the sellers will be like, I don't want to mess with that. Let me just give you a credit. So a concession. And so they may give you a credit for that. And so that's a concession. They gave you a concession on the house. So now you got maybe $5,000. So that's $5,000 less that you have to pull out of your pocket for down payment. And you can use that money to fix the repairs after. So those are up. Now go back a couple years when people bought homes here, they were paying anything the seller asked and above. They were waiving inspections, which none of my clients did. I told them, no, don't ever waive an inspection. That's not smart. But some of them went above appraised value. They said, hey, if it appraises and this will cover the gap. If it doesn't come in at the appraised number, we'll cover it because we want it. So people were offering like 10 and 20,000 over appraised value. And thank you, Dana. Thank you so much for coming on. So the people were just buying homes crazy. And then that's kind of changed. Now we're starting to see things switch more to a buyer's market. The interest rates are still high and the prices are coming down a little bit. People are asking, less for their homes and realizing they can't ask these high prices. So you see homes sitting longer and some price drops, but the concessions are kind of coming back again to help buyers. And that's a big thing. So, when you're out there looking at a house and you make that offer, you might be able to get a concession, which just kind of helps you. Maybe lowering the price helps a little, but it doesn't really a lot on a mortgage, doesn't affect it much. But getting, a credit for say $5,000 or somewhere, that's $5,000 that's not coming out of your pocket, right? It helps with your closing costs, and you can use that $5,000 to fix things that you want or whatever you want to do with it. So we're seeing more of those. And as the article said, I'm going to switch screen here. So it says concession is when the seller covers certain costs associated with the purchase of the home. Concessions to make homeownership more accessible for buyers. By reducing upfront costs, seller concessions are often used in markets where buyers have more negotiating power or when the seller needs to stand out in a competitive environment. So it just gives you an idea there. And, again, it said Chicago's home inventory begins to grow. The buyers regain some advantage in the market. Sellers may consider offering more in negotiations to make the deal more attractive and get to the closing table. So with where interest rates are, buyers can be deterred if they don't feel like they're getting some kind of deal. So it's good because it's starting to lean to the buyers a little, right? The sellers don't have all the power to say, take it or leave it. Again, every market's a little different. I have some friends who I've been a guest on their channel. They're in different markets and they're getting multiple offers on their properties in places like Jersey. And sellers are kind of running the show. Here in South Florida, maybe some markets, but everywhere that I've looked at, we've seen properties sit a little bit longer. And I think sellers are a little bit more flexible, with trying to get the property sold. So if you're looking and you're out there working with a realtor, you're going to come down here and reach out to me and you go out, that's some good news for you guys, because maybe you can get a little bit of a break. And we haven't had that in quite a while. So that's very good news. I like a more balanced market. Sorry, my dog's whining at the side over there, my older dog. So Johnny, 3 days. Yeah, it's almost February. I know. Hey, the the first month of 2025, boom, it's out of here, right? We're already moving down. It's gonna get to well, I don't want to say that. I don't want it to be summer anytime soon. So hey, Billy, not sure, closing on Oldham way hopefully Friday. Yeah, so hope so. That is what we're hoping for. So hi from Maryland, like summer up here, 53 today. Holy smokes, 53. If you guys would have laughed at me last week when I was shooting my video and I was out there in a leather jacket because it was 56 degrees out. I was like, this Floridian was freezing. I had jeans on and tennis shoes. I'm used to wearing flip-flops and shorts. So some nice warmer weather is coming back. But anyway, so well, good. I appreciate you guys asking some questions. That's awesome. So yeah, so we'll see. The market is definitely changing. It's still, like I said, it's been slow. I've been fortunate. I do have had a closing earlier. I've got hopefully a closing Friday. Another closing after that. We had one property that was supposed to close, but sometimes things happen, and so now that deal fell out. So we have to put the house back on the market and try again. So as I said, the buyers have options, and so that kind of was a little bit of a bummer today, but that's real estate. They don't always go all the way through. Do you have advice for a seller who does not want a house listed in the MLS? Well, it's funny. I just went out and spoke to some for sale by owners. I mean, if you list it, you can do I guess you can do not really an off market listing. You can, if you have a realtor that works with you and they have some buyers that they may know of, I guess if you don't want it, I guess you could do like a pocket listing sort of, or off market listing. Maybe you just say, hey, if I find someone, bring them to you. Do you want to, like that? Like maybe the guy, and they'll be like, hey, if you ever come across this property, let me know. And then I take them to them and they're interested. I think, you might be able to do that. Obviously it's not going to get as much exposure because it's not in the MLS, but that's one way to do it. Or you could just do for sale by owner and not, you don't have to, you won't put it in the MLS because you're not with you don't want to do FSBO either. Yeah. Tell you what, XE, if you look at my channel, you'll see down below, you can find my email. And you can also find my phone number. Shoot me a message and I'll try to help you out with that. Maybe I can connect you with somebody. So I know you're up in Orlando market. Maybe I can put you together with someone up there that could talk to you or something. So, but anyway, and thanks. I love the feedback and the questions. That's great. Thank you so much. So, all right. Well, let's see. We're at 23 minutes. So, so we talked about concessions. So we're going to knock that one off, and we'll go over to, say the last one here. So we'll talk about, a lot of you are here because of my condo videos, and I will be addressing the condo videos again this year, the condo crisis. I've kind of taken a step back from it because I wanted to provide stuff for people. A lot of people liked my videos that really showed Florida, things they liked about Florida. They're going to live here. The condo videos were great and they were informative, and I loved making those for you because it educated everyone. I got a lot of heat from other people, even realtors, like, why are you making these videos? I just read a comment today, why are you trying not to sell real estate? And that was never my point. I was doing my job as a realtor. You guys trust us to be professionals, and I was conveying to you what was happening in the real estate market, which is a lot of condos have assessments, and it's a very difficult time for a lot of people. And so it doesn't mean every condo is bad. I got a condo under contract right now. One of my condos. I sold another one at full asking price, and we did a renovation on it. It was that thing where we renovated it and then put it on the market and sold it. So there are condos that are okay to purchase. You just have to be really careful about it, whoever you're working with, and ask a lot of questions and do your due diligence. But those videos were helpful for a lot of people who said thank you. They didn't know what was going on. Now I'm going to go back. There's a lot going on. I saw in the news the other day, this was interesting. They did, if you saw my one video about Time's Up, those that saw that, I was talking about the fact that December 31st of 2024, they were supposed to have their milestone inspection or their Sears structural integrity reserve study either done or at least contracted, meaning they hired an architect or an engineer and they paid them and said, hey, we need you to come do this. It didn't mean that they actually had to have it done by December 31st. They just needed to have it paid for, at least a signed contract. And And we were sorry, hold on a second, I lost my train of thought. What was I totally lost my train of thought, what I was just saying. So guys, I just blanked. That's I don't know what I just got lost. I read something and it threw me off on it. But it's about the condo. Sorry. So the news said that the condos, a lot of the condos have not done their inspection yet. And it was like a big number. And then they were talking about how they're going to find those people and, penalize them, and not the actual owners, but maybe the management companies. Again, they don't know what they're going to do. They were just spitballing stuff, but I saw that news report. So it was interesting that that came up. So we'll kind of get back to that. And we'll see what happens with the whole condo situation and everything. And I'll be covering some of that. So, but anyway, impossible deadline. Yeah, it really was an impossible deadline. So we don't know what's going to happen. There's so many, there's only so many inspectors and so many architects that can go out and do those inspections on the property. And they just, they had time, but still there's a lot of, just think about how many condo buildings there are. So at least the ones that had to have that done. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that, we'll still talk about the condo situation, because it's still relevant to what's happening here in South Florida. And hopefully we'll see something good come out of it. I know they're going to be addressing that, or at least hope they're going to address it this year up to Capitol and stuff. So, but all right. So let me get to the last one so we can talk about the last one. So this was an interesting one. Let me take a sip here as mouth. Wallet Hub, this article came out today, 28th. Wallet Hub said Florida, best place to retire in 2025. Now, I don't know what you guys think. I've lived here for a long time. I do love it. I do know that we have our challenges. But it said Florida ranked as the best state for retirement due to low taxes for retirees, such as no estate tax, inheritance, or income tax, despite having high cost of living compared to other states, according to Wallet Hub. And also, retirement is supposed, we just talked about some other stuff. I'm sorry. Fixed income. Yeah. So sorry, the dog's barking in the background. But what do you guys think about that? So do you think that Florida would be a great place to retire? And many people have for many years, and it still has a lot of options. Obviously, hopefully things will work out with the insurance, and we kind of get through, get that somehow, see what happens with that. Hopefully it obviously has to get fixed, hopefully, because people need insurance for their properties, right? And not everyone can afford to pay cash. So, but yeah, that's interesting. And one of the, I didn't have the article, but I read it the other day, was one of, I saw this article came out in September. One of the favorite places for a lot of people to retire in South Florida is a little town called Stewart. And Stewart is just north of Palm Beach County, up in the Treasure Coast, and in Martin County. And Stewart's a really fun place. I like Stewart. It's got a great downtown vibe. It has a nice green market. The Indian River is beautiful. I have customers who bought just next to it in Jensen Beach, which is right over one of the bridges, over over one of the causeways, and just down the way. So it's a neat place. But I was a little bit shocked to see that Florida made the top for retirees, having a 322 in Seminole County, considering downsizing to a condo. Okay. Yeah. Hey, listen, definitely, like I said, my contact information is there. You can reach out to me, and we can hopefully get you all squared away with that. But let me see what else it said. So the best states to retire in 2025, Florida made number one. This one made number two. But it would be so cold if you like it. But Minnesota, and then Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Delaware, North Dakota, and Wisconsin. A lot of very cold winter states. But I think one of the really strong things in Minnesota, they said, was going out to the articles that say it said somewhere up here that Minnesota had a lot to do with the healthcare. That was a great place. Yeah, it said the second best state to retire is Minnesota, according to Watch Hub, due to access to healthcare, nursing homes, and healthcare aids. The state also ranks high in protection against elder abuse. And then Colorado ranked third due to the state's lack of inheritance or state tax. But so anyway, so good old Florida back in the spotlight is one of the best. No cold states for me ever. I'm with you. Yeah, y'all laugh at the Floridians, man. We were freezing here. I mean, we had snow, guys. Come on, we had snow in the pan. When you said that enter Florida, how many of y'all made that trip and say, "Welcome to the Sunshine State"? You're like, yeah, beach and sunshine. It was covered in snow. The beach had snow up in Pensacola. That was like just crazy. People were running and doing a cold plunge, and yeah, I was man. I don't mind a little cold weather, but you got to remember, like we don't, I own very little winter clothes, being here for 30 plus years. So a lot of those clothes are, just regular, like maybe a jacket and a few sweaters, but I don't have thermals or any of the real proper attire for when it gets cold, like what you guys deal with. So, well, listen, we've got 31 minutes, and until I get a guest on, do you have any questions, or is there anything you guys want to pop a question, one more question, or anything? You put the heat on when it's 60. Yeah, the problem putting the heat on in Florida though is that we all have central air, right? Central heat, and the coils kind of get dusty, right? Because we don't put the heat on in Florida. So I did that 2 years ago. I put the heat on, and unfortunately the coils had dust on them, and it started burning. Well, the whole house stunk. The smoke detectors went off, and I had to open the windows to get all the stink out. Well, that let all the cold air in, and I was bundled up and freezing, and it was like 40 degrees out that day. So it was funny to watch. But let's see, Paul, how much would you recommend we budget to? How much was this? Excavate and build out an average size pool on an existing property with no anticipated access. Oh boy, guess that's hey. I don't know. I know pools can vary. I know that, down here, just a regular pool, like a regular, nothing fancy, starts at like $50,000. And I may be off on that. It could be more. I just remember, pools used to be 25, 30,000 got you, a decent pool in the backyard, permits and the contract and doing everything. But then it just really shot up for a while there. I mean, pools are really expensive to be built, at least here in South Florida, at least from what I've seen. So yeah, I don't know. That's going to depend on McGreener. That's going to really depend on where you live. It looks like you're from Florida from your little icon there of the ship blasting off. So I'm assuming you might be a Floridian if you are. But it's going to depend on the city and where the contractor that you use and all that. Unless you get a shovel and do you like that old movie Encino, man? You guys can dig your own pool in your backyard. I don't know if you guys remember that silly movie, but with Pauly Shore. But yeah, I know that pools typically are like 60,000 to start and on up. So, and then you got to be really careful with the pool contractor that you hire. I know for a while there was a lot of pool contractors were scamming people and stuff. So, but yeah, if you're, I don't know where you're at, but if you're in this area, if you want, shoot me an email and I can put you in touch with some pool people that work in the South Florida market. But if you're up there, just kind of look and talk to your neighbors and talk to some, builders and ask some people who some good pool builders are and stuff. And yeah, enjoy it, man. Having a swimming pool is great, right? You can get out there in the backyard and enjoy the summer. That's awesome. So, well, listen, guys, I really appreciate it. I love that we got, 12 of you. We had up to 17 people on here tonight watching and appreciate it. So look, I'm going to try to do this each week. Try to bring a news story, update you a little bit what's going on. Hopefully I'll get a little bit better at it. Sorry if it was a little choppy. And I got thrown off for a second, but I'm going to have guests come on, which makes it easier so we can go back and forth and ask some questions. And yeah, check the county permits for pool. Yeah, all that. Got to have your permits. Exactly. Well, that's a big one. Anything like that. Certain things, electrical. I was talking to someone the other day that had some stuff done without permits, and you can do it. You can do it all you want. The problem is when you do something without permits is when you want to sell your house, and then it comes up and they're doing the title work and the search, and then they find out it could be the most perfect whatever, windows, roof, whatever. The problem is the buyer now is tasked with buying your house with a product that doesn't have a permit. and that may fly for a year or two, but then down the road, the city can say, oh, that wasn't done correctly or something. And then you have to have the whole thing redone. So it's a risk. So a lot of buyers don't want to do that because they have to sign what's called a hold harmless. And so it's risky. So I've seen people do it, but a lot of buyers don't want to do it. They'd rather the seller go get it permitted and closed out, done properly, make sure everything's done with the permit and everything before they close on the house. So, well, good luck with the pool. And everyone, thanks for watching. I appreciate it again. There'll be a new video up this Sunday at 10 a.m. on my channel. And then next Wednesday, I'll try to come back again and talk to you guys and have a good week. So thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you for the support and get out, enjoy paradise. All right, guys. Talk to you later.